Hi all, welcome to the Polco Minute, where you hear the latest best practices and news in local government and civic engagement. I'm Angelica Waddell with this week's headlines. Let's take a look at how the pandemic and racial tensions of 2020 ushered in some major changes for local government. Needless to say, the past year has seen a significant shift in the conversation surrounding equity both locally and nationally. Because of this, and with the arrival of the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, these funds are going out to cities across the country. Local leaders are looking at resource allocation through the lens of equity. First of all, local officials must understand the needs of residents and businesses before deciding how to distribute ARPA funds. For example, underserved populations and neighborhoods may have the greatest recovery needs. Local governments have to pay close attention to the disproportionate impacts of COVID within their jurisdictions. Michael Wallace, the Legislative Director of Housing, Community, and Economic Development at National League of Cities, comments on the issue. He says that areas with a higher degree of fiscal stability are able to draw on reserves and they can move on economically much quicker from the pandemic. And to that end, there needs to be a greater focus on areas that are less equipped for such scenarios. He continues by saying that even though Wall Street didn't crater during the pandemic as it did in the 2008 recession, Main Street, the local downtown, still did. So how will your local government spend ARPA funds with equity in mind? The key is to follow the data. The ARPA engagement package by Polco includes a series of surveys designed by experts to help you prioritize ARPA funds, measure progress, and document for Treasury. You can learn more about that at polco.us/ARPA-engagement-package. Now let's focus on how local governments can use Facebook, the world's most popular social networking site, to your advantage. After all, local governments have a strong need to connect to your communities, and Facebook was designed to help people connect. It's not a surprise that Facebook is a cost-effective way to communicate on a large scale, but if used well, it could also help you build public trust. The first key for local governments is to keep things simple. Make sure your posts, your layouts, your graphics, they're all easy to digest and not overwhelming. Also, don't use government jargon. Make sure your language is understandable. Next, the content you put out should be interesting and helpful. Share information that community members would actually want to read. Your groups and pages should also be secure and properly moderated with protocols to prevent cyber attacks and harmful posts. Of course, your use of Facebook should respect relevant online privacy guidelines and regulations when it comes to individual data. The posts should be valuable and regular. You'll need to be fairly consistent for your content to catch on. In addition to that, local governments can use Facebook to listen to comments on your page and start to understand conversations and sentiments from the community. This can help you know what topics are most engaging for your residents, things they really care about. You can even use Facebook to help you spread the word and get higher response rates on your Polco community surveys. Facebook is a very powerful tool, and with these tips in mind, you can create a more effective and meaningful Facebook presence. Thanks for watching the Polco Minute with me. My name is Angelica Waddell, Director of Communications at Polco National Research Center. Polco makes it easy for local governments to get accurate and reliable feedback from their communities. How are you keeping up with today's engagement issues and trends? Join a panel discussion with other local government leaders and us nationwide. Connect with me on LinkedIn or send us a note at polco.us/contact to let us know if you're in. See you next time.